All right, so the Lions, they're in the mix. Huge game against Jacksonville. And now favored against the Vikings. Are you ready to get on board the Rico Beard Express that they can do this? They can go 5-1 down the stretch. Maybe better. Why not? Why can't they catch fire? Why can't they get hot? The other thing we need to talk about, and I want to mix this in, is Michigan. Now, look, it was a coronation more than a competition. They were going to beat Purdue. So that's not what I'm interested in. Nor am I really interested with anything in the game. What I want to know is this. Did you feel a sense of relief when the committee handed you TCU? Now, I maybe I'll phrase it a different way. Did you actually want OSU? Because Rico sold something that, look, it doesn't do much for me, but maybe you're wired differently. Did you want the ability to euthanize Ryan Day? Because let's face it.
It was going to happen.
If you played OSU and beat them twice in a month, Ryan Day would not exist in Columbus, Ohio. He would need a police escort out of town. Now, I would caution you playing a team a second time. It's not fair to the team that won the first time, which I've already said. And I did say that putting OSU in devalues what you did to them.
But
TCU lost, USC lost.
No. You broke Ohio State in that game.
Correct.
That game wasn't close. Like the TCU Kansas State game, that's one where, you know what, I don't want to see this team again. You destroyed, you did everything. You took Ohio State's manhood away. So I thought at that point, what better way to finish your year off than to beat them twice?
Yeah.
Something that historically has never happened.
Right.
This would have put Jim in the category beyond Bo and any other coach. No coach has beaten Ohio State twice within a matter of weeks.
But look, I will stand on the hill and battle because I always say I think these committees are feckless losers. I think they're a joke. I think they're the most disingenuous people on the planet, and I don't even need to. They don't even need to exist. They really don't, because anyone who tries to tell you that TCU should be 3 and not 4, you've told me you don't know anything about football. Look, TCU's a fun story, much like MSU was in 2015. MSU wasn't the 3 seed. The committee artificially put us there because that's what they do. My point is, I think Michigan was given a gift. Now, I've already said you're capable of winning this thing no matter who they put you against. That includes Georgia. So don't play a game with me. I'm not that MF. I've already given you your flowers. But I do reserve the right to call a spade a spade. Like when someone's charged with a felony. The point is, TCU...
No flag on that.
No,
okay.
I didn't. I'm just making it was a total random thing. The point is, you have a bye week. But I want to know if you actually, deep in your soul, regret not being the one to put a bullet in OSU football. I mean, as Rico put it, for all time. I mean, you could already hear Johnny Porkfats pounding the keyboard for that book.
It was going to be historic.
Michigan Sportsgasm, the year we beat OSU twice.
I mean, it was going to be a 30 for 30. It was going to be a movie. It was going to be everything. It was going to be everything that every Michigan fan would dream of.
And may I say, I'm totally fine if fans go, nope, I'll take TCU. Because that's what I would tell you.
Yeah.
If MSU beat Michigan
less resistant,
and we had to face them again in the playoff, oh, hell no. Hell no. I don't want to give Michigan a month to game plan for me, just like I don't want Ryan Day to have a month to game plan. Right all the wrongs.
Right, but let's go to... Imagine it was Michigan State, the Brady Hoke years, when you knew Brady could have a year to prepare. He wasn't going to beat you.
Yeah, but...
And that's what Ryan Day is with Ohio State.
Okay.
They could... Okay, you got 3 weeks. Doesn't matter. You got a month. Doesn't matter. Remember, they spent the entire year laser focused. They had scars from the beatdown. They were angry, and they went out there, and it was even more embarrassing this year.
The point I make to you is you face the team twice. The burden is on the team who already won. I don't feel it would have been fair to Michigan. That's not the committee's job. The committee's job is to rank the teams 1 through 4.
No, I don't think that they ranked them fairly.
No, That's the only thing I'm saying. And again, Michigan, I think, would be favored over OSU. And they are 9.5 or 10-point favorites over TCU. See, here's the thing. Georgia was number 1 all year. Didn't do anything wrong. Outside of, if you want to hold against them, the scare against Missouri.
In Kentucky.
No, they were up 16-0. They just ground them down. They were bored. How are they only 6-point favorites over OSU and you're 9.5? You're the 2 seed. TCU's the weakest team. Mm-hmm. And it's not like this is a new take. Nobody's followed TCU locally more than me. I did cash the ticket, for Christ's sake.
Because, honestly, I was hoping that TCU would lose by 17 or more points. And then we were talking about Alabama getting in there. Because TCU...
Well, you know what's funny? I want to do this. I took this picture on the airplane this weekend, and it is a graphic. And I hope this came out. It did. So this is the defensive ranks. So I'll give you an example. Here are the 4 teams. I'm going to go left to right. Left represent the first number I read will be Georgia. The second will be Michigan. The third will be TCU. The fourth will be OSU. Okay? So in points per game, 2nd, 5th, 57th, 13th. TCU's 57. Yards per game, 9th, 3rd, 74th, 11th. One of these things is not like the other. Yards per play, 14th, 3rd, 57th, 18th.
I feel like you're putting an emphasis on that third number. You're biasing the crowd.
Drive score percentage, 5th, 3rd, 43rd, 7th. TCU is by far and away the weakest team of the 4. But you got the bye week. I just want to know if there's a PCU who's like, don't care, give me the bye. Or
if you're a Michigan fan, you're thinking, you know what? We're on to L.A.
Well, I told, it's funny. So I have a couple, you know a couple of my friends who are Wolverine fans, and I told one of them, I'm not going to embarrass him on the air. I go, do me a favor. Call me when your nuts drop. I don't know if I should book my L.A. ticket. I go, what? Book the ticket, you dumbass.
Right.
It's going to cost you $3,000 by the time you book it and you wait. Book it now. You're going. I'm like, wait. You lose to TCU, quit football. Just quit.
Well, Duggan is gritty.
I love Max Duggan. I love Quentin Johnson, DeMercado, Miller. I like the team. They don't belong there.
No.
You can book the trip. Book the trip. Michigan's going to L.A., and I'll say this.
You're already there, David?
Already there. Already looking things up. Already preparing.
He's already bought a warehouse to start a church.
Because, we're not looking at group tickets, Kenny, because you're not going. But what I'll say is, of course, I will take the easier path. It didn't matter to me who we played.
And guess what? I'm with you, as long as you acknowledge you were given the easier path.
I told Kenny on Thursday, I said, look, we're going to play TCU. TCU's the easier path. I'll take TCU.
Had TCU won, I could still say I think they're the easier matchup, but I wouldn't have an issue with what the committee did. They didn't win. They didn't.
See, and I think with the committee, and he didn't answer the question, Boo Corrigan.
Because Boo Corrigan is Portuguese for scumbag.
Yeah, they basically did not want to punish TCU for playing the extra game and losing it.
That's all right.
No.
No.
No. What they did not want is the Michigan-Ohio State rematch.
In the semifinal.
And that was the thing that is like, it's okay to say it.
Right, just admit
it never crossed our mind. Really? They played already this year? I mean, that's how silly it got. Like, wait a minute. They did play a couple weeks ago. That's where I saw that. Like, come on, man. Just tell me you don't want the... It's okay. You know what, guys? We didn't want the rematch, so we moved some people around. Because that's what it should have been. It should have been Michigan-Ohio.
Yeah. And again, I don't think... Michigan fans, I would be the same way. I'd be like, hey, just great. I'd rather be a 10-point favorite than 6. Georgia fans are the ones that should be pissed. Now, I don't listen to Atlanta radio. I couldn't name an Atlanta show. But I would imagine the discourse today would not be very friendly towards how the committee did things. How do you punish the 1 seed?
It's not. I don't know. I don't understand how you do it. You rank the 4 teams based on merit. Ohio State is not the 4th best team in this situation. They're the 3rd best team.
No.
I don't understand. I don't understand why we get the shaft here, but that's okay. One seed's going to one seed. We'll take care of business.
Well, I mean, if you really want to get.
There's the Feinbaum angle. SEC, huh?
Say, if you really want to, I mean, that Saban, if he pretty much said, if you put us up against any of these teams, we would beat them. Like, we don't deserve to be fifth. We deserve to be in there. If we play TCU, who do you think is going to win? We played Ohio State. Who do you think is going to win?
Look, that was my whole point, is that if TCU and USC lost, you could make the case for Bama. Now, I don't know it's a winning case, but you could make the case. I think it's laughable how USC loses and they are just thrown out, gone, right? TCU loses and it's no penalty at all. That's ridiculous.
Well, TCU had 2 losses.
No, USC.
I'm sorry, yeah, USC.
But you get my point. Oh, we don't want to punish them for playing the extra game. Bull. You've always punished teams for playing the extra game. Always.
Yeah, I didn't understand the logic to that either. But I do think that maybe it was to make up for 2014 for leaving them out. And they said, okay, you know what?
Oh.
8 years ago, we made a mistake.
I am so glad you said that, because ESPN kept putting that graphic on their resume, the 2014 scenario. And I'm like, why are you putting that on there?
Well, they did get screwed.
Oh, they did.
They went from
But
3.
it's not for ESPN to put that on their resume. That has nothing to do with this year.
Yeah. They went from 3 to 6 because they didn't play and they didn't have a championship game.
Right. Back when the Big 12 didn't.
Yeah.
And by the way, David, get it now before it's gone. I really think the best bet from a value standpoint, Michigan plus 325 to win the thing. I said it back when it was plus 800. I'm not betting Georgia at minus 170. And we know TCU and OSU have no chance to do this.
Sounds like something you said last year. Oh, interesting.
Hold on. I also was going into it last year with a free roll of robbing TJ Lang blind and having Michigan money line against OSU. I'm just saying.
You want to waste your money, you waste your money. Don't look at me funny.
Kenny, why don't we just, well, you know what? Forget it. Kenny, you act like I don't want Georgia to win, but money's money. So I'm just saying.
I know there's no value in betting Georgia, but it's the safest bet. You stay away if you don't bet Georgia.
God. That's what I referred to earlier. That's Najee Harris. That's what I want to do to David right there.
Oh, my goodness.
That's felonious assault, not what I saw in the tunnel.
And
that's an assault.
And the soul leaves his body right there.
Dead. I see Grandma.
You hear angels singing. Come on, son. Come on up here.
I see blue.
Najee killed you.
It's
like
glorious.
Wakanda. He sees the ancestors.
Right. All of a sudden, his ancestors waiting right there. Yep, I know.
If you didn't see that stiff arm by Najee Harris yesterday, just go look it. Just go look at it.
He slammed his head to the ground.
He didn't push him. He somehow got the leverage to palm his helmet and physically concuss him off the turf. Like that I don't know how that's not a penalty at this point.
Next thing you know, there's T'Challa and all the ancestors. Welcome. Come on in. Heimdall waiting at the gates. Come on in. It's okay. No embarrassment up here. No
How do
judgment.
you recover in film study from that? Does everyone just quietly look away?
You know what? Either one of two things. The coach doesn't put it in there, or they're going to have some fun with it, and it's just looped. So you want to tell us what happened? Right? Right before your head hits the ground, son, what was going through your mind as you were getting pile drived into the ground?
Regret.
What was the last thing in your mind before your head hit? What were you thinking?
His hand's on your forehead right now. What are you thinking in that moment right there?
Did your life flash before your eyes?
Milk was a bad choice. Oof, that was tough.
What was the one thing in life that you regretted at that moment? Because you were making life decisions
at that moment. Birth.
Oh man,
that was unbelievable.
I didn't know he was like Derrick Henry. Oh man.
Oh no.
I wonder if anybody is going to see this. And the entire arena just kind of turns their head like, yeah, we saw it.
The only stiff arm I've ever seen that was better than that was Derrick Henry sending Josh Norman into another galaxy.
Yeah.
It didn't feature him slamming Josh Norman to the ground so much as it was him sending him into the blue injury tent.
This may top that one.
Oh, from brute force?
Because his head bounced.
Yeah.
He just didn't drive it.
That was awful.
He threw it down, his head bounced back up and went down. Yeah. Just R.I.P.
I'm glad you finally saw that. Now you know the reference I made to him earlier.
You know.
All right, good talk.